Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Guys, I hope you all well. I want to talk to you about 6 different kinds of narc. Now, I originally thought that there were only 2 different kinds, the overt and the covert. They are in here, of course, but it was a bit of an education, let's just say that, as far as my knowledge of narc is expanding. So, I want to talk to you about these. And maybe you can identify with some of them as you look at other people and you see some of what's being said in the descriptions, and you will see them in other people in terms of their behaviors and their attitudes. So let's have a look at these different kinds of narc. The first one is cerebral. Now I'm going to read you the definition so I don't get it wrong. So it says, like the word cerebral implies, a cerebral narcissist has a profound belief that they have superior intellect, that their intelligence far exceeds that of normal, ordinary folk. They have a vast array of knowledge on just about any topic. So, this is the one that will use their belief in their intellectual prowess, shall we say, to try and bully you. Show off that they are more intelligent than the next door neighbor, for argument's sake. So there you go. It is the belief. And yes, they might be very clever, but it's how they go about using that knowledge and the intellect to manipulate and bully and orchestrate. So, cerebral. Somatic. They are consumed with their physical beauty and prowess. You will often find semantics working hard at the gym or on their appearance in some way or another. Semantics derive their narcissistic supply from the reactions from others to their appearance or their sexual conquests. So here you've got the individual that is, for a better description, your typical narc, the one who believes that they are better than anybody else in terms of their appearance. And they will work hard to get that appearance just so that they will not necessarily fish for compliments verbally, but they will fish for compliments in terms of how they conduct themselves, through how they look. Quite a clever, powerful way to bully and manipulate the prey. Overt, like I mentioned before, must always be in control. They are always right. They don't hide their expectations that everything must always go their way and always about them. They have massive egos and they are not afraid to show it. This type can verbally or physically slice you to ribbons and feel nothing about it. So, how I remember it is, overt is the obvious. They are the ones that shows off. You spot these a mile away once you recognize what to look for. They're quite dangerous, but there's one that in my eyes that's even more dangerous, and that's coming up next. So the overt one is the one that is verbally and in their behavior and attitude the chess master player in orchestrating the situation to their end. The control freak, as they used to be called in the 80s and 90s, if you were fortunate to live in that era. Covert is a narcissist who, on the outside, to the outside world, appears to be kind, full of integrity, altruistic, but they save their rage, their selfishness, their cruelty to the nearest and dearest. These could be some religious leaders, teachers, counselors, politicians, anyone really who's in a position of authority or power. This is the dangerous one as far as I'm concerned, because these would represent the chameleons in life. I was speaking to Lara about my soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law, who, if and when needed, could be quite pleasant. But when she was not, she was nothing shy of a viper mixed with a bit of a python. Would strangle you to death in terms of how she would slice you with her mouth and basically break you down. Being able to flick between nice and normal. I was saying to Lara, I think in most narcissists there's a switch between the standard normal congruent self, which is narc, and personality B is the nice one. And they operate in personality B to lure prey in, and then once they're in, there's this sudden change in personalities where the narc dominates. By then it's too late, because it's 5-10 years down the line and you've not noticed the switch, because it's gradual and ever so subtle, and you don't know. This is the dangerous one. Because they are in positions of power, it's easy for them to go out and manipulate and bully, because who can challenge them? And narc like positions of power, because that's where they feel most at home. Okay? The next classification of narc is the parasitic. And it says this: they exhibit all the traits of narcissism as outlined by the DSM-4. However, this narc wants to be taken care of. They lead a parasitic lifestyle, feeding off their host and anyone that provides them the opportunity. They don't want responsibility. Of course, you know as well as I do, that's typical narc. They look for strong intelligence and successful partners. So, the parasitic narc nearly seems to me to be a little bit like a hypochondriac. They would make things worse than what they really are. The one that's always ill. The one who always is looking for the "it will be okay." Very controlling, very manipulative. Instead of taking responsibility of, I'm ill, I'm going to go to the doctors, it's a very much a matter of, just tell me that it's going to be okay. And that way they justify their illness while sucking all the life out of the prey, who might be incredibly busy and who themselves might have a lot of responsibility, as the definition will suggest. I know one or two of those. And then finally, the classification is boomerang. They constantly pop in and out of your life. They offer very little in the way of believable excuses. But their codependent partners keep taking them back. They usually have several partners they are involved with and bounce from one to the other when it suits them, or when something is expected of them. This is the kind of narc that is seemingly unsatisfiable. This is the one that says, you're the flavor of the month for the next 2 or 3 months. And then I've had enough of you, and I'm going to go to so-and-so, and then I've had enough of you, and then they might go to person C, then D, then E, and then go back to B, and then A. Because they're a boomerang, they return back. Convenience is what strikes me with that particular narc. When it suits, they're there. If they don't suit, nowhere to be found. In fact, you'll find that there's a lot of people who've got this particular trait, who's not necessarily narc, but they've got this trait. You don't hear with them or from them for years, and all of a sudden they're there. And you're best friends for a few weeks or a few months, and then you hear nothing, because they need something, not necessarily you. So there you go. There's your 6 different classifications of the different camouflages of a narc. And I use the word camouflage because, like I said midway through this particular video, I believe that there's a switch that the narc can flick at random between personality A, which is the true narc, who they truly are, versus personality B, to try and lure you in. Dangerous people are narc. Very dangerous. If I had it my way, there would be no narc, but unfortunately I don't have it my way. So there you go. I hope that some of this information that's been disclosed today will aid you to recognize some of these traits in other people. And then maybe you could identify and advise or support or maybe inform. Who knows? If you find this information useful, please tell all your friends and all your family and get them to subscribe too, please. Please do all the YouTube admin, the like, the share, the subscribing, like I said before, comment, hit the bell, pick all the rest of it. But for now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I'll speak to you soon.